Yes, we're in a season of love. A season of, just for all the men, gentlemen out in the room, if any of that happens to you in that song, you have a good feeling it's over. And ladies, don't get any ideas, please.
Too late.
She's taking notes.
I'm going to go on record and saying this officially. People are idiots.
Amen to that.
You hear that, I'm going to have two reactions. One, yes, amen. And the other one is like, I'm not an idiot.
This is I'm a person, not a people.
Here, as they said on the Men in Black movie, people are smart. A person is smart. People are highly irrational and crazy beings. That's example. This came to me clearly this week while I was driving to church one night. And you guys know there's snow, right? If you don't know there's snow, you haven't been outside. But there's a turning lane right outside my school. And it has a nice little ice pile about this tall still. Solid ice, and there's no getting around. And I thought to myself when I was pulling out, man, my four-wheel drive can tackle that, and I'll be okay. But there's that 10 seconds of thought, or half a second of thought that I had to put into that. And if more people would put in this half a second of thought and listen to this voice that's sitting in the back of their head saying, you know, that might not be a good idea, this world would be a much safer and calmer place, but not as funny. Now, I put in that half second of thought, and I said, nope, I'm not even going to try it. However, there's a car behind me who saw the turning lane and decided, I'm going to, and she drove a sedan, so she wasn't driving yes, I said she, and she looked older than me. So she should have had the time to put that half second of thought into it. And she tried to climb over this mountain in her little sedan, and apparently she almost made it. And her front tire, it was front wheel drive, was spinning, causing a little skid mark on the road because she couldn't make it. She got stuck, worse than a lowrider over a speed bump. And that got me to thinking, if you ever seen a lowrider stuck on a speed bump, you know, it's hilarious because they're like, the guy's like, this is awesome. Yeah. This is check out my system, and it still works. That got me thinking of other idiots and stupid things. And I remembered the Darwin Awards. How many of you have ever heard of the Darwin Awards? The Darwin Awards are... let me read to you off their website what they say they are. The Darwin Awards honor Charles Darwin by commemorating those who yield to natural selection and remove themselves from the gene pool, thereby ensuring that the next generation is a smarter one. So these are people who die in extremely stupid ways.
Hey, y'all, check this out.
Hey, yeah, the last words of a redneck. Hey, Bo, watch these. Greensboro, North Carolina. June 3rd, 2009. Roseanne T., 50 years old, was not deterred when, it says, Greensboro was inundated with 4 inches of pouring rain in 2 hours, stranding several cars on flooded roads. Roseanne T., 50, long enough to know, have that little voice in her head and listen to it, that was not deterred. She hopped on her moped and drove to a convenience store where she possibly had a beer. Before deciding to blunder home through the storm, she phoned home to say, my moped has 2 rubber wheels, Mom. I'll be fine. North Carolina does not require a license to own a moped or drive one, which is good. And this lady apparently needed to have a moped because of a DUI conviction. So the highway patrol had blocked off several roads that were inundated with water, including Roseanne's path home. But she rode right past the officer in her moped and the barriers, lost control of her vehicle and fell into the swollen creek below. The officer retrieved rope from his vehicle and proceeded to haul her from the water. He then interviewed the woman, probably inquiring about her motivation for speeding through a roadblock. The officer returned to his patrol car for assistance. Roseanne decided not to wait for the officer and tried to escape by jumping back into the creek. She died. She's dead. Half a second of thought would have stopped it. And the victim's mother speculated that her daughter's motivation for jumping back into the flooded creek was to save the moped, quoting, "She loved that thing." That's not bad enough. We're going to Washington. Okay, this is on the other coast. And there's a couple guys who worked at a raceway. And they got a concept of filling this barrel with methanol. 4 gallons of methanol. They sat on top of this thing and they lit the bunghole. The bunghole is the hole where they pour stuff in. For those of you who don't know. They were hoping for a rocket ship. Engineers in the room know what they got. They got a bomb. Now it says the 2 inspired sparks landed in Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, where one man lost his life and the other one survived with a sobering lesson on the power of internal combustion.